Then, in the summer of 1890, another man arrived in a small Yorkshire fishing town. He had no army. He carried no sword. His only weapon was his imagination. His name was Bram Stoker. Born in Dublin, Ireland, Stoker earned his living as the manager of London's famous Lyceum Theatre, working alongside the celebrated actor Sir Henry Irving. But away from the theatre, he dreamed of becoming a successful author. Several books had already failed to capture the public's imagination. Perhaps he simply hadn't found the right story. That was about to change. Seeking a holiday by the sea, Bram Stoker travelled with his family to Whitby, staying in a house on Royal Crescent overlooking the harbour. Every morning he looked across the River Esk toward the East Cliff, the ruined Abbey, St. Mary's Church, the old harbour. It is a view that has changed remarkably little since Stoker first stood here. If you stand in this very place today, you see almost exactly what he saw. Whitby is a town built upon stories. For centuries, fishermen and sailors have sailed from this harbour into the North Sea, returning with tales of storms, strange lights, and things glimpsed only for a moment before disappearing beneath the waves. To an ordinary visitor, they were just stories. To Bram Stoker, they were possibilities. Looking down toward Tate Hill Sands, Stoker learned of the wreck of a Russian ship driven ashore during a violent storm. The image stayed with him, a ship arriving without control, a dead captain, a cargo carrying something unseen. He had already begun work on a novel called The Undead. Now, the pieces were beginning to fall into place. Much of his research took place in a building that still stands today. When Stoker visited Whitby, it was known as the Captain's Reading Room. Captains anchored their ships in the harbour, rowed ashore, exchanged news from around the world, arranged cargoes, and told stories. It was here that Bram Stoker listened. The room in which you are sitting is the very room where those conversations once took place. History has a curious habit of leaving footprints. Sometimes you're standing in them. The captain spoke of storms, they spoke of wrecks, they spoke of the sea. But they also spoke of older things, local folklore. Legends passed quietly from one generation to the next. Among them was the tale of a huge black dog with burning red eyes, the Barghest. It was said that anyone unfortunate enough to see this creature would be dead by morning. To many, these were simply fireside tales. To a writer searching for inspiration, they were priceless. One by one, Stoker gathered them: the wrecked ship, the black dog, the lonely abbey, the windswept graveyard, the cliffs overlooking the sea. Each would find its place within the pages of his new novel. Then came one final discovery. During his research, Bram Stoker came across the story of a 15th century prince from Transylvania. A warrior, a ruler, a man whose cruelty had become legend, Vlad Dracula. Stoker never traveled to Transylvania himself. He didn't need to. History had already done the traveling for him. It had carried the prince's name across 4 centuries until it reached a writer in Whitby. He changed very little. Only the man. The prince became a count. The warrior became immortal. History became fiction, and fiction began to reshape history. His working title, The Undead, disappeared. In its place stood a single name, Dracula. When the novel was published in 1897, neither Bram Stoker nor his readers could have imagined what would follow. A fictional count from Transylvania would become one of the most recognized characters ever created. Books, stage plays, films, television, thousands of adaptations, millions of readers. The man who had almost been forgotten would live forever. Bram Stoker died in 1912. Fittingly for the man who created literature's most famous undead figure. He chose not to be buried. He was cremated. But the story he left behind refused to die. And nowhere would that story become more real than here in Whitby.